Been up since 5. Just listening to the rain, hoping it would stop. This is what they predicted would not be a rainy day. Don't know if you can see it. How can you have 6 days of the trot nearly rain? Annoying. Don't know what I'm doing. I'm all bagged up, ready to go out. And it's just throw it down. Can't keep getting wet. Again, stupid. So it looks like back to bed. It's supposed to be a dry day. Let's see if it dries out later. It's got to improve sooner, isn't it? Oh, good morning again. Dodging the rain showers. I'm determined to get up to Cairngorms. I'm hoping there's some sunshine up there, otherwise I'll just cry. It stopped raining for a bit, then we got a lot of this heavy mist stroke drizzle, but it's now 9:15. I wanted to set off at 8. As I say, I did wake up. I was up at 4:30, believe it or not, at one point. I did get up at 6, I think you saw, and it was just raining. So I went back to bed, but I couldn't go to sleep because I was just watching out the window. I was hoping and praying it would stop raining, and within about half an hour, 3/4 an hour, it did. So that's what I want to do now, is shoot off to Cairngorms. Hopefully the weather's a bit better over there. If not, I'll just give up. So that's what I'm doing. No more talking, I got to shoot off. Finally made it to the car park. Sat nav took us wrong. Took us to a left-hand track that brought us up to them farms over there, which might not seem far away, but it was plenty far enough. So we had to double back down and follow the right track, which was on the right-hand side. As I was going to say, you hit a small little bridge. You go towards Atholl, Old Tilt, and it directs you, the sat nav, to a little humpback bridge, a really small one. It's like a little goblin bridge. And for some reason the sat nav took me to the left. It should have took me to the right. So if you see some farms, you know you're going wrong. If you see a newly gritty track, Stella, this way please, too fast, then you know you're going the right way. It'd be the warning signs are speed limits and freshly laid gravel, and you should see pine forest on your right. Now we approach this gate, and there's this little gate on the side. We go through that little gate, and that takes us up to another fence line where I believe there's a tin hut or old hut of some sort up there, and we'll go through that fence line there. Should be another gate, and then we should be more or less in moorland state and the rough stuff, as they say. Beautiful. Sun's come out. Just as I got here, the sun came out. It was raining on the way up. I thought, oh no, please no. But this is the first sun, real sun, I've seen, and it don't look too bad up here. Maybe I should have come here originally in the first place. Right, this search is involving a hiker, a guy called Ross Kinghorn, who was 57. He'd left his hometown in Scotland. I can't remember, I cannot pronounce the name. I will put it on the screen. He arrived at Atholl railway station at 9 AM on the 16th of Jan. Now that's an important date, because 16th of Jan was the day I was doing that. I started my Magoo stunt. And you remember how I got caught out in all the snow? I was near Atholl Bridge and that area in the wilderness, and we got snow bombed, and we were confined to Bothy for 6 days, and it was terrible conditions. And I was pulling a trolley, and so was Ross. But Ross left the railway station, and within a mile he stashed his trolley with most of his kit hidden away. His aim was to take the track we've just drove up, past the car park, the route we're taking now, and hit the three summits here. Now what I will do, I know one's Cairngorm, the first one, the middle one I cannot pronounce, and the third one is Beinn, Gholo, is it? Something like that. Something like that. I will put the names. What I'll do is put 1, 2 and 3, and from now on 1 will be Cairngorm, 2 would be the one I cannot pronounce, and not many people can because it's a mouthful, and the third one will be Beinn Gholo, if I'm right. Whew. So that's Loch Morrig back there, and sheep just be over this little brow here, so Steady ain't going to chase them. So as I was saying, yeah, Ross set off 9 AM from railway station, stashed his gear, had a little backpack. CCTV has caught him with a backpack and his trolley that had his bags with his main bits of gear. Now the aim was he was going to hit this first one, then hit the second one, this is Munro's I'm on about, and then hit the third one. So 1, 2 and 3. Now the conditions were bad, we all know that. I've checked on Sky News, I've checked on local weather, I've checked on press releases and everything, and the weather conditions are very similar to what I had. So you know, he was going up here in snowstorms, expecting probably like me 2 to 3 inches at the most, and it obviously turned really nasty. Now he hit the first one, and I believe he spoke to some fell runners. That's not widely been publicised because we're trying to get as many people to come forward normal and naturally without being prompted by backing up someone else, if you get what I mean. But he was seen by 2 fell runners on this first one. He was seen heading towards the middle part because don't forget the weather and cloud comes in by the same fell runners, and they looked back and he reached the second summit, so that's 1 and 2. Now his aim was to go to the third summit, that Beinn Gholo, but no one knows if he reached it because the last sighting was when he reached summit number 2, and that probably, to be honest, is the last anyone has seen of him. The mountain rescue were out, they had the helicopters, dogs and everything like normal, and no one can find any trace of it. So once you head out here, it's a bit of I mean, if you're doing the summits, it's hard work, it's up down, and then you're back to the car park, you know what I mean, and then itself it's a good old slog. But to actually cut right through the middle, his aim was intentionally was to do the 3 summits. Somehow I don't know where he was going to stash his gear, but then he was going to come down the other side of these summits and the far end, which is Glen Tilt. It's a massive distance to cover and made all the worse in bad weather. So I don't know how he's going to do that, but he did stash his gear way too early, and obviously he was cut off from it. But I was doing exactly the same thing, See, there's the two options, you see. Stash your gear and come back for it, which I opted not to do, or pull it through the snow and the bad conditions, which took me 14 hours and a hell of a lot of stress. Leave that, drop it. Silly girl, picking up sheep droppings. Won't do that. Sorry, my dog was being silly, trying to eat sheep droppings. Rogue that was. All it would do was make his stomach bad. So yeah, I chose to do it the harder way, dragging the trolley. And of course, it about killed me. But at least my gear was close by. As I say, Ross decided to ditch it. No, we got some walkers. Beautiful. Plenty of pitching areas. Acres of pitching areas. So that's not an issue. Car down at the car park, that's not a problem. Yeah. Good thing about this is you can see for miles. So you can see when bad weather's kicking in. So you can batten down the hatches. See over there? It's hanging over there, but that's past us, thank God. That's why the sun's come out. All that's gone. I think we're coming up. Oh, sorry, we just went through a cattle grid. I don't know if I showed you down there. Oh, too late now. That was the second fence line. I'm thinking there's a hut somewhere up here. Now, most people will branch to the left after going a little bit further up here, and they'll hit that summit up there. Now, trust me, that summit looks like a little baby, doesn't it? But really, she looks like that in real life. She's not a baby. Where we're going down at the base, we'll get to see how immense but all three Munros are together. Oh, beautiful. Love it. Yep. This is a definite. Look at that. Reminds me of Bleak Low. Or the Cape Wrath. Going across the Cape Wrath. As I say, when Stella's not with us, I will do some of these Munros. But it'd be, looking at her at the moment, she's looking fine. But to take her up that, and down the other one. And as I say, we're not here to enjoy ourselves today. Shame this weather wasn't like this for about a week. Oh dear. I'm glad I did go though today, because I took a chance and it's paid off. Rebel! Look at that. Miles and miles of nothing for us to camp in and lose ourselves. No tracks. Plenty to explore around here. So our plan is we're going to follow her down on this gully all the way along, and I'm picking one particular spot because I've done my research and it's where they seem to, hikers and climbers seem to come down. So it's put it like this, we're going on theories again, but it's where Ross possibly would have took the shortest route back, because that's where everyone else comes down if they don't come back over the summits. Now imagine if the conditions are that bad, he ain't going to go back the way he's come, because he's got to go back over summits again. So he's going to try and get down as soon as possible. Now he's either come down this side or he's come down the other side. So at the moment there's so many areas, we've got to start picking them off one by one. Now Mountain Rescue have covered all the areas, and I know what people say, well, they're the professionals, they know what they're doing, and they're true, they do know what they're doing, and they are the professionals. But humans make mistakes, or humans miss things, they're stretched, they're pushed, it's all down to manpower and everything else. We haven't got that issue, we've got time. I've got the dogs, as you can see, they're nosy as anything. Oh, there's a hut coming up, I can see it on the left. They'll push their noses into everything. and that's what I want. I want them to be nosy. It's just that crazy first 10 minutes coming out. Well, we've got plenty of time today to search, and the weather's good, so that's the most important thing. Right, photo time. There's the hut, there's the gate where people go in to start taking the ascent of that first Munro. Now the thing about Cairngorms, the weather will change really quick. Even in the summer it can change really quick. Fronts will come in, they have their own miniature climates here. So you can be in sunshine 1 minute, the next minute you could be in hail. So, and that's in summer as well. So don't be mistaken thinking, oh, it's glorious a mile away, so it's going to be glorious up here. But they're normally fast moving fronts, so I'm normally on Linady and oh, what's that lodge? The lodge, and up to the Hutchinson Hut, and you know, Loch Etchin and Ben MacDoo. I hike over that. I've done quite a bit over there. And Loch Aon, even though it's pronounced Avon. So, and I was in gales and all that in that. So, but we also had some brilliant summer as well, with sunshine. So it just shows how one day can change from the next. Oh, no, don't tell me a walk crossing. See, this is the way people would take coming back if they didn't want to do the summits again, which a lot of them won't. They want to come back the easier route, won't they? Oh God, don't tell me this is too deep for me. Oh no, some rocks up there. Very isolated, gorgeous. I love the place. No swamp like where I've just been in. Get off that road. More sheep pooch you're looking at. Yeah, I just chatting to a local. They've had the rain just as bad as us. They said this is the first decent dry day they've had, so didn't make any difference what I did. But yeah, it's nice up here. I mean, as long as the sheep don't get on your nerves. Find somewhere quiet to bitch. But there's the first one, as I said. Again, on the video, it won't make it look that big, but trust me, it's big enough. So we do not follow down there. We go to the left here, and it fizzles down to a real thin track from what I can see on the map. I have not looked at the map at all today. I'm just going on what I've studied over the last few nights before I set off. Not from Clashgore, but from my home. So about 4 days ago. So what I tend to do is study all the maps I can, any photos on Google, and then I have a brief idea where I'm going. So I don't need to pull the maps out so much, which helps me out a lot. So beautiful views, look at it, and it remote. That's Glen Grinnig or something like that. I will put a name up over there. So as you say, we come up that track and we don't follow down there, we go branch off to the left. And it's windy, it's getting chilly as well. But I want to get away from the sheep so I can release the monsters. There's your 3 Munros. So that's what Ross was doing. Number 1, the middle one, number 2, and a big pointy one, which is Bengali or Gholo. I'll get it right in the end. We'll get better views as we go around. So if you follow this track all the way down, it weaves all the way round and round to Loch Loch, which is quite a distance. But we're going to cut up now and go over the moorland and start hitting the junctions of these Munros. Again, they look so small. So, on camera that is. 1, there's 2 in the middle, big bumpy, 3 bumps. And there's the 3rd one, like pyramid shape, and that's Beinn Gholo or whatever it is. Let's have a look. Let's do some cross country. What we're doing is we're cutting across to more or less the centre of the 3 Munros and cutting all that track that bobs and weaves. It will bring you around, but it'll be a long way. For those on the hike for Ross meet and find Ross, I've numbered certain ravines, cloughs, groughs, whatever you like to call them, waterfalls, gullies, whatever. But anyway, this is number 1 that I've numbered, so you can see the terrain. So that's number 1 on my map. Dead centre, you got like looks like water running down. Now we head around this pointed one in the middle here. This is not part of the Munros. The 3 Munros are that one there. The ones behind this pointed one here, that's the weird naming sounding one. And then there's Beinn Gholo. I probably pronounced it wrong. So there's 1 summit, 2, which is a combination of a couple of mounds there. Forget this one, and then there's that one there. So, as I say, this area here is number 1. For you on YouTube, you won't understand a word I'm saying. I'll try and put a map up that shows the areas I'm talking about. And that track would take you up to area 1 that I've labelled number 1. So that's going to the same area. Again, YouTubers, sorry, I try and put a map up so you do understand what I'm on about. So again, this is number 1, a closer view as I'm following the path towards Beinn Gholo. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Summit 3, I'll call it from now on. So that's going to take some searching up there, but you have got a path that you can peel off down, but there's a lot of slopes, and you can see them, a lot of nasty slopes and a lot of bush, heather, gorse. But the one I'm interested in, I'll show you in a bit, is further on. So, summit number 3. Now you see summit number 2 is 1, but from distance it looks like 2 lumpy bits. It's got a weird name, I shall put that up. And summit number 3, number 1, sorry. Sorry, I'm puffing. It's 5 miles here. So that's 5 miles in, 5 miles out before you've done any searching. So I'm going to show you the passes and the ones I've numbered. So I'm trying to figure out, there is supposed to be a track down from the summit that leads down, but I don't know if that's it. It does look like it, doesn't it? I don't know if you can see it. See the track as it goes up. And that's it. Well, that's pretty steep, isn't it? And that is going to be the shortest way for him down, but boy, God, is that sheer. As you can see now, track disappears. They've done a lot of work and it's just stopped. I guess this is what it used to look like all the time. There's a track over there. See where that goes. I'm sure that's the steepest, it's the way down, the quickest way down from the summit is down that slope there. And that's probably, there's cows over there. I knew I saw cows. It's not my eyes, just seen them. Right, let's have a look down this track here. I want to be in that gully to have a look down this gully. I know it's all been done, but I'm going to start, I've got to start somewhere, haven't I? So, 2, 5, 6, this is 3, and 4 is around the corner. And the steepest, the quickest descent is down the slope down there. So what we're going to do, we're going to search this gully. We're starting, as I say, we've got to start somewhere. Can't do the slopes, we ain't going to have time. But we can start doing the gully. And I can say I've done it. That's how I can get down in one piece. Going on the theory, he's took the quickest route down, which is the craziest route, but you want to get off there quick as possible. That's if he's took this way. I mean, all these are theories. I'm not saying he's done it. So he would have trekked, not at a special angle, he would have just wanted to get down as low as possible. So I'm retracing where I'm guessing he wouldn't have gone down in there because he's near the water. He'd stand on the ledge here. That's what I would do, and aim for that gully down there. And then try and pick the path up from the other side. But if he took a tumble somewhere or fell, then that's another thing. The problem at this time of year, everything grows, so it makes it even harder to spot things. But I've started from at the top there, not right up the top because I'm going to use that for another day when we go up and over the pass. So I'm going down, and I'm guessing when we get these volunteers, we'll hopefully stick them to areas, but we're going to have to be very careful on that one there. We'll have more accidents. A lot of loose shale, rock. Anyway, let's go. I don't know if you can see, I've picked a trail up. This is where I believe they come winding down from the summit. You can see one goes there, but you can also see how they go at the side of the bank there. But we're not, we're going to go follow all the way down because at that time it would have been covered in snow, freezing. You wouldn't have seen that trail. You would have been trying to get as low as possible and then across to the path. That's what I would do. Coming it all the way down, sweeping, looking any dead ground, doubling back if you think you've, missed a certain spot. But the aim is to sweep both sides and keep your eyes in the water as well as much as possible. Look for something that just doesn't look right, seem right. Dogs are not picking up and everything, keep sending them off. They go and play, they go sniffing, but they haven't picked anything. But this is what I would do. I would gully down to safety and then try and pick up the track and try and make my way back. Don't forget the track would be covered in snow. So he would be guessing, but he would know roughly that if he gets low, he's safer, less temperatures, less wind chill, and then he can cut across. It's cutting a shortcut rather than trying to go over cross country. Just stupid, just get down low. He's got a good nose on him, Rebel has. She will learn, she will pick it up. You didn't find anything, Rebel? Oh, a bag. See, these are the kind of things you want to find, but obviously that's no good to us. It looks like a fertiliser bag or something. Something like that. Oh, is it a liner? Frost liners. Don't know what that is off. Don't know. Just fed the dogs. You can see the track in the distance. You can see some hikers on the top. You can see where we've come through the gully. All the way round. And we'll go down to the bottom and then cut across. Because even if Ross didn't cut across here, say he went too far, because it's at night. Rebel's doing his searching, that's good. Look at him. Pick something up again. Something blown in the wind. Rebel! What are you picking up? I hope it's not what you think it is. I want you to pick something good up. Nothing bad. Get here. So we'll go down. I'm also not for pitch spots as well, but I've got to let the dogs rest for a minute because I've fed them. Rebel! You won't believe it looking at this pig. Found my pitch spot. Some places it's very, very boggy. But up here, the ground is very dry. Seems how it runs off, and trust me, this stuff it'll be lovely to pitch on. It's like lying on a little bed. Now, if you pitch something lower down there, when it rains, all the water running off down these banks, and it'll puddle in these areas. You want somewhere where you're on a slope, and any runoff will run down and run away from you. Now, if you're here, you see, go a bit further here. Not too bad, but there, see? It's starting to get boggy because there's channels running down. That's a good spot there. Nice one there. Yep, like that. X marks the spot. And look at my views in the morning. And not far from the search areas. Not far from the summits. Plenty of water in the open, so no midge problem, and plenty of area for the dogs to run around and do what dogs do. So yeah, happy with that. Hope it's dry when I come back next time. I like the sound as well. It's not too loud with the water, because you know sometimes the water can keep you up all night. But no, that would be nice. Peg it down really good, and if the weather changes, you'll be fine. And emergency bails straight over the top there to the track. So, job done. Job's a good one. This is where we'll be back. This is going to be a bigger job than we all thought, I think. I think that's to say it modestly. It's going to take a few camps over this side to get these ones checked out. That one there is a pig. I don't think he would have come down that, but it still has to be checked as far as we can. I'm more inclined to think he's come off that area, but who knows, eh? But we're going to have to do each one. But see what I mean? If I'm camped here in the morning, no race to get up. Go up that one, do that one day, do that one next day, do that one the third day, and we'll leave that one. So it's something like 2, 5, 6 or something like that. I can't remember now, I've gone and forgotten numbers. But we'll leave the one that goes through the gully most of the way up till one day when I decide to go over the tops. So what we'll do is we'll do that one, the middle one, some of the lower third one. We've done a lot of this today. We'll scout around the base of that, just in case sadly he took a tumble, and then we'll check over 4. So we'll do all that from over here, and we'll just keep going over. If the weather changes and things get nasty, I can do a lower areas and not be worried about going up slopes so much, like say thunderstorm warnings, heavy rain, things like that. I don't mind one day of heavy rain. It's when you're getting like 6 days, and that's what we've had recently. It's just been thunderstorms and then heavy rain. Because all this will get flooded, the ground will start getting waterlogged, and you'll get drenched, and keeping yourself dry will be a pig. But this reminds me very much like Bleaklow. If anyone knows Derbyshire, this is like Kinder Scout and Bleaklow, you know what I mean? So it's what I'm used to. This is the kind of terrain I spend a lot of my time on. I call it my training ground, so you can imagine. Now the one at Clashgore is a totally different thing. It's all swamp, bogs, and you know, plantations and all kinds of obstacles. Look at this, it's wide open. The only thing is, if you don't bring the right kit, wind chill, things like that will kick in here because you're in the wide open, and people say, well, it doesn't matter if it's warm. Trust me, the temperature soon drop in places like this, even at night. So it'd be worth humping the kit up the nearly 5 miles, isn't it? But it'd be well worth it, and then using it as a base camp. You're out of way of hikers, so you shouldn't be bothered by any hikers unless someone needs any help. And I've never had any problems with people tampering with kit or anything, so I don't really have that problem. Dogs, you happy? Is that a plan? But yeah, it's going to take, I would say, to get this side done, about 3 goes, 3 different outings, 3 lots of 6s, just to get everything done right, to cover all the areas. And it doesn't have to be perfect weather. As I say, some bad days we can skip certain areas and then come back to them again on the next day. That would be to get this area done. And then another time we'll have to go over the tops. Probably the best bet will probably come in from Glen Tilt and see what we can cover over that side, and just leave the middle piece to do at the end, which is a lot of steep slopes, I hear, and a valley with a lot of steep slopes. But to be honest, now looking at the terrain, I think it always makes a difference when you look at the terrain. If he was up that one, which he was, he's come from that one, he's either gone down that gully and come up. I mean, it looks like it drops in the centre of that valley, but it doesn't drop that much. It's enough to get over onto this. I think he made it to this one. It's what he did when he was on there. Now, his kit was, as I say, at Old Tilt, not far from Blair Atholl. So at the end of the day, if he'd gone Glen Tilt, he would be putting himself really way out, and he would never cover that distance in the bad temperatures. He had to make the shortest circuit down. So if he's been coming off that slope and down, he hasn't done anything else, trust me. He's experienced, he knew what he was doing. He just separated himself from his kit. But I don't know how he thought he could get a trolley over that lot. I mean, I've done some stupid things, but that is bloody hard work to get a trolley up there. I think he was going to stash his trolley nearer to Cairn left, this first one. But obviously he didn't fancy pulling it any further. But even so, to get from there to say back down there, it's a long way, long distance. I've seen people come off the slopes today, and I was chatting to them, and they look exhausted and they look younger. So yeah, he had a lot on his plate, and then the weather just went crazy, as I found out as well. But yeah, several things done today. To the family who are watching, I apologise. I was supposed to be coming out here for 6 days. I knew the weather was good at the time, but I didn't know it was going to change that bad. Sorry. But nothing's been lost by this. I've come up, I've seen the area, I've found somewhere where I can pitch. I've started to do some basic searching. I know the terrain now and how it lies and what we're up against. I didn't expect to find anything. Would have been combed so many times by mountain rescue, so I'm not worried about it. What I'm really interested in is all the way along the base of that Munro, just in case you come further up there and come down and took a tumble, and also any of these slopes. more to this side. I don't think he would have gone back over these summits in that terrible weather. He would have been knowing he would hardly make it. You know what I mean? He looked exhausted. The fell runner said when he was at number 2, which is that one there. So, and that was before the real bad weather kicked in. That's what I want him to do. This is what he does good. The only thing is I don't want him finding deer droppings and his nose takes over. What's that down there? Is that another one of them bags? Oh, I've got to go. Hold on, I've got to go down and look. Right, we're heading for the track now, which is over there. But really, it's like this, just like Bleaklow. We're mountains. Beautiful. Now, why can't the weather be like this every day? So beautiful. What do you reckon, dogs? Happy? Even Stella looks happy. She had a bath a minute ago, so she's happy. See you on the track. I'll look at them views before I go. Hold on. I dropped my poles. I mean, all round it's just wilderness, isn't it, really? Beautiful. Oops, sorry, I bounced you. Right, back to the track. Right, 5 miles back to the car. I just traipsed all across from over that river. Don't look far, does it? Foggy, swampy, and heavy, but doable, not a problem. So 5 miles back to the car. 1.5 hours back to Bridge of Orchy. 2 miles back to the hut and collapse. Dogs have been fed. I've had 2 chocolate bars for lunch. That'll do me. And a bottle of Lucozade. There's more food in the car if I need it. But I've got a craving for chocolate digestive biscuits. Don't know why. I had a packet on the first day. That was my lunch. Good healthy eating, obviously. And I wish I brought some more. Now normally I bring some more, but I don't eat them. But today I got a craving for digestive biscuits and a nice cup of coffee. Oh, and some beer. I've got a craving for that as well. I don't know if I can carry all this back to the hut. We shall see. Absolutely gorgeous now. Very windy though. But the sun's out. Look at that. Woo! I'm getting delirium from sun. Dear. We ain't seen sun for what? How many days? The first morning we got it was a nice morning like this, and then it just went. It's actually warm as well. And the breeze is warm. Now I wish I brought my tent with me. I could have pitched up here. But you know my luck, it'll rain tomorrow. I think it's breaking now from what I saw in the weather forecast. I think it's just late. The weather forecast got the timers wrong. They said early morning. It took about 2 hours into the morning. It started brightening up a bit. As I say, we had the odd shower, but it soon blew through. I mean, look at this place. It's a playground, isn't it? If you're really crazy, you got there. You crazy, Stella? She's worn out. By the time we get back, it'll be about 11 miles. Didn't plan to do that much. that's it. We're done for the night. We're all tired and worn out. Stella's worn out for sure. Yeah, that's a worn out yawn. The Canine Outdoors team are whacked. It was 2 hours back. Funny, weird one that is, because it was 1.5 out, but it was 2 hours back, and we got at the car park, and there was these really black clouds in front of us, and I thought, oh, please don't, because it'd been sunshine. Even when we got to the car park, it was sunny. So got my boots on, got my gaiters on, chucked my coat on. Stella was stiff as God knows what, poor girl, and I walked her up, and as we were walking up, sorry, I walked all of them up. As I was walking up, shut up, I'm talking. She wants a drink or something. It started raining, didn't it? And it couldn't rain any other time. It had to rain then as we were walking up. So we got up, got in the door, fed them, fed myself, sat down. And just as I sat down, the sun came back out again. But there's a lot of mist. I don't know if you can see up there on the mountains. There's a lot of mist hanging around. Now, tomorrow's forecast, from what I can see, I was checking to see if Atholl and Bridge of Orchy, which is just up the road here, is any different. And to be honest, each one, all through the week, is identical. I think a Atholl's a slight degree more better night and day. But all the forecasts say it's going to be cloudy tomorrow. That's for here, and also a Atholl. And then it's brightening up through the week with showers. Temperatures at night are dropping. They're getting down to 8s and 7s, whereas probably they've been like 12s, 10s and 12s. So not much bit difference, but yeah, temperatures dropping a little bit at night. So the forecasts have always been the same, similar. So we've not beaten anything. I don't know what she's moaning about. I'm going to have to see what she wants. I don't know what she wants. Right, that's it. I'm going to have a wee swig of whiskey, and then I'm going to crash out after seeing what she wants. I think she's been nosy because I'm talking.